Hey, good morning, community. Welcome to the Daily Coffee Chat with Ryan Frank. Trust everybody had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And are you ready for a great week? It's Monday, TGIM. Are you TGIM-ing it today? It's a brand new week, a fresh start, and I'm so pumped to have you with me today. I'm going to talk to you for a few minutes about social media strategies during a pandemic. Listen, during a pandemic, everybody's spending all this time on their screens and so much time on Zoom. And how do you really break through on social media as a ministry during a pandemic like this? I want to talk to you about that this morning. Big shout out to the Kids Matter magazine team. The new issue of Kids Matter magazine is hitting mailboxes as we speak. This is the flip issue because the backside is our MegaCon issue. MegaCon is still happening this year, the first week of October. Unfortunately, we had to move online only because of the pandemic, but it is happening. I hope that you'll join us. KidmenNation.com to learn more about MegaCon and to get subscribed to Kids Matter magazine. KidsMatter.com. At Kids Matter, it's a big week. You'll be hearing more about this tomorrow. This is our big bonus week. This is the week that you're going to sign up for Kids Matter Pro. Be watching Facebook, be watching KidsMatter.com, be watching your email. Later today and tomorrow, we'll give you some updates on how you can take advantage of big bonus week and what's going to be included. Let's talk about some social media strategies during a pandemic. Everybody has all kinds of messages hitting their devices, their screens. As a ministry, how do you break through? How do you really get people's attention? How do you help the most people you can on social media during a pandemic? I have 5 strategies for you. Number 1, you need to start with a schedule. Start with a schedule. What's your social media strategy going to look like, and how much time are you going to actually spend on it? If you're not careful, social media can be a black hole where you spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, and you're really not that effective. I would encourage you to choose a couple times a day that you are going to work on the social media for your ministry. Maybe it's first thing every day, or maybe it's during my lunch break, or maybe it's in the afternoon or in the evening, but I'm going to try to pick a time. I'm going to schedule a time, and I'm going to work on getting into a routine where I am posting and creating content and engaging on social media. This is a decision that you have to make, and you might want to modify it and tweak it as you go, but get a schedule. Number 2, choose where you're going to engage on social media. So are you going to really try to focus on Facebook? Are you really going to try to focus on Twitter? Are you really going to try to focus on Instagram? Are you really going to try to focus on Snapchat or TikTok? Now, if I were you, I would try to pick 1 or 2 and let's really do a good job on this 1 or 2 and take the pressure off yourself immediately at the very beginning, at least, that you've got to have a presence everywhere. Now, there are things that you can do to get a presence everywhere, but especially if you're just starting or you're like, man, you know what, my social media needs a reboot. I would look at the people you're serving and try to figure out where are they and start there. So if your goal is I want to really connect with parents, I want to connect with my volunteers. Where are those volunteers? Where are those parents? And if they're on Facebook, I would start doing more stuff on Facebook. If a majority of them are on Instagram, I try to do some stuff on Instagram. But choose, where are you going to give your attention? Number 3, something that will help you is to be real. Something that will help you break through during a pandemic, when they're already getting all of these messages thrown at them and they're already are on screen overload, is for you to understand that social media is a way that people can really get to know you, um, that they can really get to understand what's going on in your ministry. We'll talk more about this when we get to number 4. Because my number 4 point is that you got to remember the goal of social media is engagement. It's not just having a one-sided conversation, but be real. Be real. What would happen if you decided to just do a video once a week to let people know how Sunday went and what your plans are for this week? To kind of take people behind the scenes. Maybe you did that on Facebook Live, or you did that on YouTube, and you just did a video. Or what if every day you decided to share a paragraph or two where you are taking people and you're writing something from your phone? Just, you know what, here's a thought to kickstart your day, and share with people what's the Lord teaching you right now, and what are you hoping that God will teach those around you. Remember that one of the biggest things people want from you is they want to know you. They want to have a relationship with you. And if you can use social media as a way to accomplish that, just to be real with people and to be authentic with people and to let people know what you're working on and what's God teaching you right now. And hey, what are some praises from yesterday or from Sunday? And what are some things people can pray for as you prepare and as you go into this next Sunday? It'll give you an advantage. Number four, remember the goal of social media, especially as a ministry leader, is to create engagement. By engagement, I mean you want to have conversations happening. You don't want everything to be one-sided. The goal of your Facebook posts and your Instagrams and the goal of your YouTube or whatever social media platform you're on, the goal is not just to have one-sided conversation where I'm just making announcements. I'm just letting people know what's going on, giving reminders. I want to create engagement. Now, how can you create engagement? Well, there are lots of ways you can create engagement. One way you can create engagement is to ask good questions. Asking good questions always creates engagement. Maybe it's putting a poll online or a survey where you're asking for feedback, or you're asking people to share stories or share prayer requests or praises or to give an update. And then you create these meaningful conversations. And what that does is it cultivates a community, which is really, I think, one of the big goals you probably have with your social media, whether it's with your parents or with your volunteers or whatever group is. You want to create a community. But communities are seldom born from one-sided conversations. Communities come from conversations. Number 5, and this is my last one. Start creating some content. Start creating some content. What kind of content should I create? Content that's going to help the people that you're serving, right? Going to help them overcome any problems that they are facing, any obstacles they're facing, something that's going to make their life easier. What if every Saturday you created a 5-minute video for your volunteers? And in that video, you told your volunteers that you're praying for them. And maybe if you had a couple announcements for Sunday, you give them a shot in the arm, you give them a quick 60-second training on something they can do to better connect with parents or kids the next day. And every Saturday you took that video, and by the way, you just shoot that video on your phone or on your webcam. You don't have to have a nice studio like I'm blessed to have here that I'm sitting in today. No, you just shoot these videos on your phone, and then you put it on YouTube, and you share that YouTube link with your volunteers on Facebook, or you text it to them. You get it out to them, and they know every Saturday they're going to have a short little 5-minute video from you. Start creating some content. Now, we could do an entire session around this, an entire 2 or 3 hour training around how to take that video and get it out multiple places at the same time. But my goal for you today is I want you to think about some updated social media strategies during a pandemic. Are you evaluating how your social media is doing for your ministry? How your Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and YouTube, are they really accomplishing what you want what you intended for them to accomplish? What kind of tweaks do you need to make? Maybe this is a decision you don't make yourself. Maybe you get a few people around the table and, hey, how can we better serve our people during this pandemic using social media? And then more than likely, if you're smart, you'll make some more tweaks a couple months down the road, because we always should be tweaking and improving and getting better. A couple closing thoughts, Coffee Chat listeners. Be consistent. Be consistent. Oh, consistency is such an important thing. And you don't want to create engagement and get all people, start building this community, and then all of a sudden nobody hears anything for a month, right? You've got to be consistent, and then build a team. Build a team. You don't have to do all this yourself. I promise you, you have some people in your church, and they may be young people that would love to help you on YouTube, or love to help you on Instagram, or love to help you figure out how to do some stories on Facebook and Instagram. Build a team. Don't go at it alone. Friends, there are 5 social media strategies to help you during this pandemic. To reevaluate how you're doing. How's your schedule? Right? Where are you choosing to engage? 3, be real. 4, remember the goal is engagement and community and conversations. And finally, start creating some content. Start creating some content. We've got a great lineup in the Coffee Chat this week. Katrina Dora is going to be with me tomorrow. Michael Chanley is going to be with me Wednesday. We've got others coming. Those are just the 2 that come off the top of my head. Thank you for watching every day. Thank you for listening. You can always catch this Daily Coffee Chat on the Ryan Frank podcast. If you have any ideas, anything you'd like to talk about, any recommended guests, the number is right there to text 833-792-6372. We have some new resources at kidsmatter.com. Be sure to go check that out. We added about a dozen new games and videos and some new things under family discipleship. You just go to kidsmatter.com, go check those out. While you're there, be sure to check out the Parenting in Coronaville workshop. It's still available for you to share with your volunteer or with your parents, with your parents and your families in your church. It's the Parenting in Coronaville workshop. You'll find that under the training category at kidsmatter.com. Friends, it's Ryan Frank. Thanks for joining me in today's Coffee Chat. Be blessed. We'll be back tomorrow at the same time.